Owen, and now you're 4. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. For 4 years, I've watched you grow up and become a young man. And I'm proud of you and your accomplishments. Owen, and I've written about this in articles and essays for my webpage, there's a part of your personality that's kind of what I call pensive and quiet. Um, we take a walk from your home to the park whenever I come down there. And you'll hold my hand and we will walk, probably it's a half a mile. And most of the time you won't say a word. You're thinking. You have your head kind of down and you're just processing whatever. I know well enough not to interrupt your thinking process. You want to figure out something. And when you can't figure it out, you'll say, hey, Papa, what's this? What's this? Or what's that? But most of the time, you're just thinking about whatever. We get to the park, and it's a different story. Once we get to the park, I'll chase you around acting like I'm Cookie Monster. Then you'll chase Jack and me around acting like some monster. And then Jack will chase us around acting like some monster. We'll climb all over the kind of jungle gym up in the park. We'll sit on the bench and read from the books that are in that little book depository up there for the kids that visit the park. We'll go over to the rock in the middle of the park and we'll jump off the rock. And then sometimes we'll sit on the rock and act like Rodin's The Thinker. Did that a couple of weeks ago, and I said to you and Jack, what was Rodin's thinking, or this thinker thinking about? And you had dozens of different ideas of what he could be thinking about. Jack was upset because he wasn't wearing any clothes. Along with you know a great deal about sculptors, you know Michelangelo's Moses, you know Rodin's The Thinker, you know, but the painters are the ones that you between you and Jack, you know easily 4 or 5 dozen painters and the artists. And your favorite painter is Van Gogh. In fact, in your bedroom, you have 2 of his famous paintings. One was his bedroom at Arles, and the other one was the drawbridge at Arles with the washerwoman. But it's probably been 5 or 6 months ago that I was visiting you down in Indy, and I was giving you an art history class, a lesson. And I was commenting upon one of the paintings that you have in your textbook at home that I put together for you. And it was William Turner's Hannibal Crossing the Alps. And I was explaining to you that Hannibal got 40 elephants, and he took them from Africa into Spain, into France, and then finally into Italy. And then he had to cross the Alps. And I made a passing comment how difficult it would have been to get those elephants up the mountains when they were covered with ice and snow. And Owen, you didn't say anything. I could watch you thinking, but you didn't say, you didn't respond at all. But you got up, stood up, walked 10, 15 feet over to Jack's collection of Hot Wheels and picked up his favorite Hot Wheel at the time. I got it for him the week before, and therefore for that week it was his favorite. He now has, you and Jack have hundreds of Hot Wheels that were once your favorites. And then you came over and sat down, and I thought, Jack is going to be furious with you for picking up his Hot Wheel. But he didn't say anything. And we both watched you doing this. You're like Hannibal crossing the Alps. You're up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I finally, I said, Owen, what do you mean? What's that for? And you said he would have been better off, Hannibal would have been better off with one of these Hot Wheels to cross the Alps than the elephant. I wonder how many 3.5-year-old children were able to process that, would have been able to process it, and yet you were. You are a smart kid. You and Jack not only know dozens of famous paintings and sculptures, but you also know dozens of fossils. And probably your two most favorite fossils. And one of the things I've learned about you is that you like anything that's shiny. And the two shiniest fossils that we have, or you have, one of them is called dinosaur cropolite. And what it is a fossilized cropolite that has been cut into pieces, and then the piece has been buffed, so it's really shiny. And so your piece, you carry around with you whenever we're doing any class on fossils, and every once in a while we go, because you know that cropolite is what you call dinosaur poop. And the other favorite fossil of yours is a clam, and it's really shiny. It's a fossilized clam shell, and you absolutely love that. And every time I'm down there at your home, at nap time, we'll go to your room. I'll sit in a chair. You pick out your favorite book that you want me to read, and then you'll sit up on my lap. And we do this every week, and we've done it for months. You'll turn around and you won't say anything. You'll go this way, and then I know what you want to do, and so then I'll say, Owen, what is this? And you'll say, cartouche. And then I'll say, and what is this? And you'll say, double axe. And then I'll say, what is this? And you say, Georgia. And then I drop it like that, and then you'll grab a hold of all three of those and spin them around to the back of my neck. And then you can lean back against me. I put the book around you, in front of you, and then I'll start to read. We have done that for 4 years. In the last couple months, you have started to read with me. And it's absolutely fun to watch the learning process of a child just beginning to learn to read. it's amazing to me, Owen. Um, Not only, you're quiet and pensive. You're intellectual. You want to learn. Aside from being those those personality traits, you're also loving and caring. Um, one of the games we have when I'm visiting is down in your basement. There's an island that is kind of and it has loads of area around that island. And so almost every week we go down there, and you and Jack want to play riding the horse. In other words, you'd get on my back, and I would, on my hands and knees, go around the island. And then you'd get off, and then Jack would get on, and then we'd go around, and then you get off, or he'd get off, you get on. We do this for half an hour. And this is at least a year ago. So you were early 3-year-old, and your mother called from upstairs and said something like your treats are ready, or you had to come up and do something. And Jack took off and said, "Hurry up, Papa." And I've been doing this for half an hour, and so I'm stiff and sore, and I get up slowly. And you go over to the stairs, but you don't go up. By the time I get over there, what I see is your hand reaching out to me, saying, "Papa, I'll help you." That is a caring child, a statement from a caring, caring child. And you're probably just 3. Every week, when I'm ready to leave to come back up to Crown Point where my house is, I'll take you on my lap and do the same thing with Jack. And I'll tell you something about what we did today that was fun for me, and tell you that I love you. And we've done that. We do that every week. And I was just talking about something that was fun to do. And then you looked at me, and it was the most honest thing that a child could say. You looked at me and said, "Papa, I'll miss you." You won't remember that. You might remember it now, but 5, 10, 15 years from now, you won't remember it. But I'll remember it, and I'll never forget it. So, Owen, you're 4. You're smart, you're pensive, you're quiet, you're caring, and you're loving. You got it, kid. I'm proud of you, young man. And I miss you. Take care.